guys, welcome to Chats with Carissa, and it is me, Carissa, on this beautiful night in Armidale. It's quite a nice night, it was quite a nice day, it was a lovely sunny day today. Not quite sure the exact temperature, but it was a very lovely day today. Hope it was very lovely wherever you guys were watching this from. Hope it was a very lovely day. I didn't get out of bed until about 10 o'clock, which was actually pretty good. I was seriously contemplating staying in bed all day. I really was. I did not want to get out of bed because it's just so nice in your bed. But that's not what my topic of discussion is today. That was just a little thing. Oh, interesting thing as well. I've also tried this high fiber low GI bread from Coles. It's quite nice. It's $2 if you want to get it. What's it actually called? So it's called High Fiber Low GI Harvest Grain Sandwich Loaf. It's $2. It's very nice. Excuse me. I had to do this video over so many times because I just kept stuffing it up, which is annoying. So if I ever have a live show, it's not going to turn out very well, because it's just going to be me making mistake after mistake after mistake. Now, something you've probably noticed is I'm not wearing a beanie. No, because it's not that cold tonight to be wearing a beanie, and I can't think where I put all three of them. So they're somewhere. Now this thing I'm holding in my hand, this is an interesting thing. My mum I stole it from my mum, so she's got a purple one. One end, it's a pen. The other end, it's a back scratcher. So you can like scratch your back if you need to. It's a very good little device. I suggest you get one. Can't remember where she got it from, but she got it from somewhere. So my topic of discussion this evening is one that I don't really know a lot on, but it was a request made by a YouTube subscriber, I'm hoping. I know he commented, but I go to university with him. He's in one of my classes, and he's asked me to talk about the Bank of America. So this person's name is Telden. Hopefully you're watching, Telden. Sorry that this video has been a long time coming. But I'm going to be talking about the Bank of America. Don't know why, but apparently he's very interested in the Bank of America. So I'm going to talk about the Bank of America. I don't really know much about it, apart from a few things that I've written down, but I'll try my hardest. One of the reasons why I wouldn't know much about it is because it's not my bank. Because I'm in Australia, not America. But I'll try my hardest. So hopefully everyone can find something beneficial out of what I'm saying today. So I had three main points written down that I thought were quite interesting. The first one was that the Bank of America is the largest bank holding company in the United States. But it is also one of the largest banks. Is one of 4 large banks in the United States. The only other one I can remember was Citigroup and Chase and Wells Fargo, I think, was the other one I could think of. There's another one, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, so that's interesting. It's one of the largest banks in America, and it wouldn't actually surprise me if it's one of the largest banks in the world, because if it's one of the top 4 of America, it's probably bound to be one of the top of the world. What I thought was interesting is that it has clients in over 150 countries. So there could be clients of the Bank of America right here in Australia. It could be clients of the Bank of America in the United Kingdom. It could be anywhere around the world. And I thought that was quite interesting, was that there was 150 countries that had clients under the Bank of America. I thought that was interesting. Because that's a lot of people to have, especially 150 countries. You know, not every bank is that lucky to have that many clients in that many countries. It would be pretty interesting. I'm going to maybe even try, once I finish this video, and I might write a comment, what countries there are and approximately how many in each country there is. So, obviously there's heaps of countries in the world, but it would be interesting to be like, you know, how many are, let's just say, in Australia, or how many are in the United Kingdom. So it would be quite interesting to find out. The other interesting thing that I found out was the Bank of America actually provided finances to a lot of the large public works during the Great Depression. During the 1930s. So a lot of the finances that the Bank of America provided actually went to building the Golden Gate Bridge and Hoover Dam. So that's pretty cool. So can you imagine if, just imagine if the Bank of America didn't provide that financial support and that financial funding. Would there still be a Golden Gate Bridge today? There probably would be. It may not be called the Golden Gate Bridge, which is funny. Let's just get a little off topic. It's called the Golden Gate Bridge because it's red. It's weird that's called the Golden Gate Bridge, but it's red. But it's interesting that, you know, the Bank of America was one of the companies that funded it. And especially Hoover Dam as well. I don't really know much about Hoover Dam. I don't know where Hoover Dam exactly is. I'm assuming there's a place in America called Hoover. Could be named after the president. I'm sure there's a President Hoover. Can't remember his name though. I don't really know much about American history, unfortunately, because we don't really learn it. I mean, it's kind of annoying because, you know, America is one of the biggest countries in the world, but we don't really learn much about it. So it would be really great to learn out about it. If there's any Americans watching, let me know where Hoover Dam is. I don't know where it is. Could be anywhere. And another fact was, the Bank of America was listed as the 4th biggest company in the world by Forbes magazine in 2010. So that was 7 years ago, about 7 years ago, which is pretty interesting that Forbes listed it as the 3rd biggest company in the world. So that kind of answers my previous question to some extent. But no, it's pretty exciting that it could be the 3rd largest company in the world, which is pretty exciting. I mean, but that's since 2010, you never know, it could be a lot more bigger now, because times have changed, so it could be a bit different. We don't actually know, and it would be pretty interesting. But it sounds like the Bank of America is a pretty good bank. Sounds very good, and if I ever go and live in America, I might open up an account. Now, just quickly getting a little off topic, because as I've said before, and this kind of relates to banks, I was watching a documentary that I'm studying in my documentary class called Bowling for Columbine, and I haven't actually seen all of it, but it's by Michael Moore, and I think Michael Moore is very good with his documentaries. He's very good at being able to tell the story that he wants to tell. But I thought it was interesting how when I started watching the beginning of it, now I need to watch it again to actually get the full details of it, but he went into a bank and he said he wanted to open up an account where you were able to get a gun with it as well, and I thought that was quite shocking to think that you can actually open up an account and get a gun with it. I thought that was it was really quite shocking to think that you could actually do that. You know, you walk into a bank in Australia and you open up an account and you might get like a month or so non-having to pay a credit card or something. But I just thought it was really interesting that, you know, he showed that, you know, issue that you can walk into a bank and get an account where you can actually get it done. So it was a little something, little fact for those who did not know that. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting and it shocked me a bit. So getting back on course, I also forgot that the Bank of America is the largest heritage bank in Chicago, and it's interesting because it was instrumental in developing Chicago during its population boom, but was also you know, important to Chicago at that time in developing it into the state that it is today. It's pretty interesting. I'm also looking up some facts at the moment as well. See if there's anything else. Oh, I found an interesting fact right now. So the country's first bank department so the country's first bank department by and for women into San Francisco allowed for women to manage their finances independently. So that's pretty interesting. And some of the information that I'm getting, just so you know, is off the Bank of America website, which is about.bankofamerica.com. .com or .org. I never know which one I'll have a quick look. Yeah, bankofamerica.com. So we've got some pretty interesting facts there. If you want to find out a bit more, might help you in deciding whether you want to open up an account for the Bank of America. Let's see what else is pretty interesting. Is there any? Yeah. So that was pretty interesting. That allowed women to manage their finances independently. It would be pretty cool to find out exactly when that happened. Obviously back probably during the suffragette time, it would have probably allowed for that to happen. So it's pretty interesting. There's some good videos on there as well. So here's an interesting question, which I'm hoping it will give me an answer to. So it's a do you know question on the Bank of America website, and it says, what famous waterway financed in part by Bank of America's Heritage Bank, State Bank of Albany, made New York the financial capital of the world? Now that is interesting. Now first of all, the answer is the Erie Canal. I think I pronounced that right. I hope I pronounced that right. But getting back to that, it's pretty interesting, you know, that New York is one of the biggest financial capitals of the world. It is pretty interesting, you know. And it would be interesting, you know, contribution of Bank of America to its continuous rise as one of the biggest financial capitals of the world. But yeah, so that's all I really have to talk about today. But yeah, no, there's some pretty interesting stuff on their website. If you look up, if you're keen to know some more, some great videos about the of how the bank saved Nantucket. There's also things about, you know, the American Industrial Revolution. There's quite a few things. Tells you a bit about its history. So, just the last quick, did you know? Which industry is Charlotte, North Carolina famous for, establishing its role in the American Industrial Revolution? And the answer is textiles, which is a very big part of our world today. Our clothes are textiles. A few of our furnishing items are textiles, which is quite interesting. So I hope you've all learnt something today. But it's pretty exciting. I'm glad to have been able to finally get round to someone's request for me to talk about Bank of America, and I've had a pretty good day today. I started filming one of my very short films, which I'm really excited about. And I just want to give a big shout out to my friend's band called The Traces. They played a free show here in Armidale last night. They were fantastic. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go because I got confused with the days and thought it was on tonight. But I heard that they were very fantastic from a few friends who went. Definitely check out their music. It is worth a listen to. They are a fantastic band. And follow them on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. If you can't find them, they're also on my social medias as well. I tend to share a few of their things, so definitely check them out. They're a very great band. They're very good to listen to as well, so check them out, and I shall see you soon. Bye!